Hi guys, it's me, Holy Crap, it's Tori. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I look a little different, I got new glasses in. But alright, let's start this first confession. So this week's topic, I actually haven't decided, though we're recording it live. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about today. I feel like today's topic is going to be a little funny because I'm going through a really big life change myself, as in I'm training to be a manager. So I think we're going to talk about work ethic and how I've developed my work ethic and how I've walked into the management realm. So first off, it's how I was pretty much raised. My mom raised me. She didn't raise me. She more so trained me as an employee. So for me, it was really odd because I didn't get to be like a normal child, which probably derived a lot of other issues. But I didn't get to be that normal, like, hee kid. I had to be, when I was 4, I had to be 10. Like I had to be very responsible at a very young age. I had to babysit my parents because they were nuts and all of this jazz. So that's how it all started for me. I had to be very mature right off the bat. I am only 22, and apparently that's very young for a manager. I say it's almost the right age. Maybe it is a little young, but I feel like it depends on the person. It depends on the person. I feel like I've been ready to be a manager since I was probably 20. So I've been ready for this for a very long time. But anywho, so for me, how I've developed my management skills, like I had a lot from my mom, because she was a manager at Wendy's. And since she didn't know how to raise a daughter, she raised me as an employee. And how she taught me very basic skills like be open, be respectful, be early, be on time. Like, I prefer to be early. I'm always 30 minutes early to work every day. Other than that, like, I just learned the basic core things, like like my mom always told me, do what I say, not what I do. So when I see a coworker like on her phone all the time and then she's like, oh, don't be on your phone, by the way, I know that I should probably listen to that and be like, hey, don't be dumb and be at my phone at my work. You go to work and you do your job. And everyone's like, oh, you keep your work life and your home life separate, which is very true. And you need to do that or else you will become very emotionally you'll start intertwining your things. You'll start bringing your home lives to work, and then you'll bring your work problems home, and either way, you're unhappy. So my best advice overall would be to most definitely keep them separate. And there's a few tips on how you can keep them separate. My personal thing is I know my boundaries of when not to say things and when to say things. It's very important that you do that. You need to remember what you need to keep to yourself and what you don't keep to yourself. For me, I say I keep very professional. I like to stay vague on a lot of things until I need to give direct until I need to give it directly. Other than that, just keep them separate. Like, keep them very separate. And, like, for me, I have an issue with myself, honestly, to keep them separate. It's really hard for me to keep them separate. But I've come up with a good solution on how to. Because for me, I've been trying to think more out of the box lately and be like, you know what? Maybe they're having a hard time at home. That's why they're being so upset at work. So I just try to, think of that when they are at work and they're upset. So I try to console them, but not too much. I'm like, hey, is everything all right? Did I do something wrong? Or are you cool? And then normally they're like, yeah, I'm fine. There's just a lot going on at home. That's someone that's not keeping them separate because they're bringing it to work. So my mindset, every time I walk in the door, I'm like, all right, my issues are out here. I have issues in here that I need to focus on first. I don't need to be carrying it into my home life, you know? So that's just the mindset I've come up with, and it works for me. I'm like, you know what? I will deal with these issues on my break if I want, or I can, actually take a break from work. So for me, that's been the mindset, is just keep them outside. I have problems here I need to attend to, not those. I'll have time when I'm off to attend to those other problems. And that's that mindset can be applied anywhere, especially for school. That's what I did. You focus on your schoolwork when you're in school, not the cliques, not the whatever other bullshit is going on. You focus on that classwork and you put all of your heart and soul into it like your future depends on it, because it does. All right, now that we got that random topic out of there. But yeah, so just keep them separate. Keep them very, very separate. That's a good thing I recommend. And from a management point on my view, I want to make my employees happy. I want them to be happy. I want them to enjoy their job, because that means they will feel appreciated, and they will want to do more. They will want to do more of what we need to accomplish. If I'm sitting there barking orders like, oh, hey, do this, oh, hey, do that, blah, 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 then they're going to get upset and angry. And then how some managers like to punish people is like, oh, you act up, I'm going to cut your hours. And I find that completely wrong. I find it so wrong and so unprofessional that people do that. Because for me, they should not get punished. Like, because once I start cutting their hours because they acted up at work, then they're just going to be more stressed and unhappy to do anything, because then at home, they're not going to be able to pay their bills, and then they're going to have more problems, and at some point, they're going to break, and they're not going to be able to keep them separate. Home life and work life. They won't be able to keep it separate, and that is a horrible, horrible thing. So, for me, I do not want to do that to my employees. I will never punishment with their hours. I will never force them to be punished that way. If anything, we will have a verbal talk. We will talk it out. And if it gets serious enough, then we will talk about other disciplinary matters I need to, as in writing up, etc., etc. But that's not the point. The thing is, people just need to learn that your work ethic says so much about you in other aspects, which is why I think I chose this topic as an opening, because your work ethic says a lot about you as a person and how you just look at things in your life differently. Because if you can still be professional and have fun, phew, you're an awesome person. If you are very immature at work and immature outside of work, it says a lot about how you are and how you don't take things seriously. And then there's always different kinks and stuff. But for me, it's just, I like to be very professional. And I'm a very serious friend. I have a lot of goofy sides of me, as everyone knows, but there is a lot of things where I'm very serious about, and work ethic is one of them. Because if I come into my friend's work and I see them goofing off and everything, personally for me, it makes me question if I even want to be their friend, because I'm like, you don't appreciate the job that you have, or did I just catch you in a bad moment? What's going on? Because for me, I see you sitting there and goofing off at work and being rude to your employees or sassing with one of them. I'm like, how are you going to act around me? Is that what you do when I'm not around? Or it's just, there's a lot of questions. So I like my friends that are very mature at work and they show management skills. My neighbors are so loud. Oh my God, they're screaming right now. This is outrageous. Anywho, yeah, so for me, it's more so of a work ethic base where I just prefer to have very serious friends at work. Most of my friends are very hardworking and they are very professional, and I just know that from how they are as a person, which is why on all my references, I add them on there. Whether they have the most unprofessional job or not, their bosses are going to say they're great workers. And my friends will say the same thing because they know I am, because they know how I was raised. But all that aside, it just says a lot who you are as a person. And for me, I am very professional. I want all my employees happy. I want team building. I'm very strong on communication. I'm a Pisces also, so I'm used to having to push and pull a lot of things. I'm very adaptable into a lot of senses. But yeah, so that is how I am about work ethic, and it was all from how I was raised originally, and now it's just become a natural thing for me to pick up management. The biggest tip, like I said, was to keep them separate. If you're having trouble keeping them separate, there's numerous things on the internet on how to help you, but the most effective is literally you gotta get your mind in the set first before anything else will happen. And then just give it your all, give it your 110%. Another thing I've noticed is, for me, like, one of my managers, she didn't have to take me in. She didn't have to trust my words. She could have spoken to my old manager in the store because I was transferring departments, who hated me as a person because I didn't like superheroes. Honey, no. You will not discriminate me against because I don't like superheroes. Are you kidding me? Really? Like, come on, that's professional. So, I hated her. But she, Jamie, or not Jamie, oh, I said her name. Oh well, who cares now? She could have not easily listened to me, and she did. So, in my mind, I showed her that I was worth every penny she was paying for. And I put my whole heart into it, and whether I had a bad day or not, I did everything I could to get my job done and impress her. And then I was offered the management position in the natural foods department where I work. And now I'm working towards that, and I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm showing them that I mean business, that I am professional, that I want that department to grow, and that I want my employees happy. I want to fix the communication down there. I want to fix all the issues that I can and be the best boss that I can be. So I've been reading, I've been looking at driving sales, I've been writing ways to communicate better with employees. I'm devoting myself to it, and just like anything, practice takes perfect. I might not be perfect at first at making the calls or making a decision. I'm going to make mistakes, but you know what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We all do it. And the best thing you can do once you make a mistake is to accept it and move right along. Be like, all right, I messed up here, but guess what? We don't have time to go back and fix it. We can only move forward from this mistake that we have made. So that's my work ethic story. Yeah, I hope you all liked this first confessions. It was a little bit of a strange topic, but I didn't think we should jump into something serious right off the bat. So I'm glad you all stood in and watched and listened to my little management advice. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep uploading on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Those seem to be my days off. And the upload takes like a 3-hour process. So that's why I do it on this day, because it's all from my phone. So I can't wait to hear everyone else's confession on their work ethic. And I hope to hear from you all soon. And I hope we all like bring different aspects of like management skills in this week, so we could help a lot of people that might be having troubles with jobs, guys. Anyways, I'll see you all next week on whatever topic I decide. See ya!